All right, so again, welcome to Barbershop Talks, stop 3 for today. So again, appreciate my main trail for letting us in here today. We're at Upscale Kutz in the heart of Midtown, Memphis-Shelby County Schools. We're doing this series, if you will, talking about anywhere between mentorships for students, asking students what they want to see us do better as Memphis-Shelby County Schools, talking about the challenges our students are facing every day, how we can get it right, not only as a school district, but as a community, how we can get it right. And then another topic that I've been honing in on is it may be a little controversial topic, if you will, because if you like me, everybody told me that I was supposed to go to college, and I did. But what they also didn't tell me is that, just like these guys you see up here today, I wish I would have picked up a trade in barbering, learning how to do HVAC, electrician, things of that nature. Those people make just as good money as you see people in suit and tie. So we're talking about different discussions like this. We'll have a special guest in a minute. The superintendent will pop in. We'll ask her some tough questions. We'll get her to weigh in kind of how she wants to lead the district with her being new. So Coach, I'm going to ping it to you. I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. One of the things we've been talking about is this mentoring. I see you got the players here today. Talk to us a little bit about how key it is to mentor these guys on a day-to-day basis, not just about football, just about life.
Just knowing the kids outside of school. You know, I know these youth personally, I know their parents. I talk to them every day about every situation, about home life, in school, sports, and they real open to me. So when you get to know the kids, that's the mentorship right there. They asked me my opinion on when I grew up, what high school I went to. I went to North Side. Trail's the owner here. We both went to North Side, so he's the trade. I played football with the college, so we both went 2 different avenues, but we still successful.
Right.
So just being in their lives and giving conversation and having them ask your perspective on life and giving it back to them. So that's the key.
Gotcha. That's big. One of the things that the superintendent talked about, she may talk about when she get in here in a minute, is she's not from here, but what I explained to her about Memphis culture is that what you see on the news is true, but it doesn't have to be true. For instance, in Memphis-Shelby County Schools, we got 14,000 employees. What would it look like if all 14,000 employees pulled 2 or 3 kids and mentored them so they won't know what it's like to be in the streets, or they can know what it's like to just see average daily people just going to work and getting after it every day. So that's one of the things we talk about. So I'm gonna kick it to you for a second. You ain't talked since we've been on the top on the stop. So I'm gonna ask you this question because again, you know where I stand on it, but I'm gonna put you on the spot. Like again, they told me to go to college and I did. I got multiple degrees.
Right.
But I tell people all the time when I go to school every day, I really don't even use my degrees. It's my experience that has guided me to where I am. So tell me about what you think about. Should all kids go to college, or should they have more than one avenue?
They should have more than one avenue. I didn't go to college. So I started my career in law enforcement at a very, very early age. I started volunteering at 15.
Yep.
See, I was one of the only black kids with the Sheriff Office Explorer program. A lot of people don't know about those programs. You can ride along with the officers, you can experience different departments. So that's how I got my segue into law enforcement. So no, you do not have to go to college, but you need to know if things are out there for you to do. And that was one of the avenues that I took. I was fortunate and thankful that I'm here today, but that was the opportunity that I had and that I took advantage of.
So again, it's my controversial take, me personally. I think I got a lot of friends who are HVAC techs. One of the stories that I give is that my HVAC at the house just went out. It cost me $7,500. A lot of people don't understand that. There's just one house and we just talking about Memphis.
Right.
Electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs. All these guys are making really good money. We're in the barbershop. These guys won't tell you, but they go up on the prices every year on us.
Yeah, I see the prices.
Exactly.
They eat every day. Hey, listen, I saw the prices when I came in. Hey, listen, give me one of them clippers. I'm gonna go and cut me some hair. Go on. Hey, listen, I promise you, that's a skill to always have.
Exactly.
That's a skill to always have.
I'm gonna put the students on the spot for a second because I know the superintendent. I'm gonna get y'all geared up for when she come in here. What do you guys want to see us do better as Memphis-Shelby County Schools? I know most of y'all at Middle College. I know my guys at Bellevue. What do y'all want to see us do better in the school system that'll make it better for you guys and your friends?
Basically, in the school system, as a program, that most people always think of school is something that they have to do, something that they go to every day on a day-to-day life. A lot of people say, we're always told that our parents go to work to make money, and we go to school to have an opportunity to make money. A lot of people take for granted that the opportunity that school is school is the number one tool to get your. It's not to necessarily teach you, but it teaches you how to use your brain. School is not designed to teach you how to learn English, math, social studies, reading. It's just teaching you how to learn different things, because in the world you may not use quadratic formula on a day-to-day life, but guess what? You fall through that adversity and learn how to do something. So basically what I say is with the school is basically showing us many different opportunities that we use the tools to learn how to do something else. Bringing more hands-on experience, like say if you bring one car to a school today and to a different school, it's just showing young men how they can learn how to work on cars, or you bring up more cosmetology shop for young ladies if they want to learn how to do hair, do makeup, and this stuff like that.
Where's you on that?
I'm in 10th grade.
10th grade?
Yes, sir.
Well spoken, brother, for 10th grade. So understand that mindset early on. I could have sworn you speaking like a college student. To see you speaking like a 10th grader, understanding to your point. That's what I spoke of about experiences in college. Like I'm an accountant by trade. I'm a CFO for the district. I handle the $2.1 billion budget. But everything I learned in school, going through classes for calculations, I don't use on a day-to-day basis. But to your point, what I do use is not that I'm key on test taking. What I do use is the ability to study for that test, and I take that to every experience or job that I get or task that I get on a daily basis. So, spoken like a true person. Anybody else y'all want to speak on? You itching, my man. I see you. You itching.
Yeah.
I would say the comfortability of school. Say it's not a chore just to come to school, actually enjoying that come to school, having teachers. You being comfortable to talk to your teacher easily, having a good relationship with peers and the teachers at the same time, and just not seeing school as something you have to do, but something you want to do.
Anybody else?
I'd say like bringing mental health into school more, like just integrating like sources for mental health because a lot of students are stressing about work and they also have things at home that they're doing. So it's like we're at school 8 hours a day, you go home another 8 hours we'll have our scheduled work, stressing about whether you got a job or got personal problems at home, and I feel like school isn't like a place where some students feel like they could have a mental health source edge. So yeah, that's the most.
I want to say add more extracurricular classes to trade field, because there's a lot of people that don't want to go to college and learn something new. Maybe they want to be an electrician or a plumber and make money their way instead of being forced to be a doctor or whatever.
I'm gonna put y'all on the spot again. I know Coach spoke about how he know you guys, but talk a little bit about how important it is for Coach to not only teach y'all how to run 38 trap and 42 dive, but how important it is for him just to help you guys navigate through the everyday part of life, even when it's not about football.
I feel like having a relationship with a coach, like brings you love to the sport and makes you better with your competition. Like, see your coach as a mentor. And all the people in the process, they can always listen. I feel like it's more
I feel like having a relationship with your coach can like make football a learning experience, just not for football, but life. Like can put life lessons into football all the time.
Anybody else? Y'all got Coach about to tear up here.
A lot of us, we grow up, we don't got a lot of father figures. And so far, Coach always volunteer his time and just help out wherever he can, on and off the field. He's a good role model. He shows us young men
even how to help young ladies, how to do better in school, and just the things that a below average father wouldn't teach you how to do. So just for him to always have our back, regardless if we good at the sport, bad, try hard, don't try, we just always there.
We gonna try hard, man.
Basically, piggyback off of what he said, like, you and my coach, like, I feel like we build a relationship, like, Vladimir, his daughter, his son, his wife, like, basically they're showing us different alleys, like, that, like, how he take care of his family, like, they really shows me, like, I'm not old enough, you know, as a wife and daughter, but I still have a mom, and just being my mom, my daughter, I'm gonna have two ladies, so he shows me different alleyways, so, okay, sometimes, you know, this may just be what a lady do, you just gotta slow down, breathe. Okay, this is what you gotta do, you gotta step up, you gotta do this, you can't get mad for anything. It's like, you gotta get used to it, ain't you? You gotta get better.
Hey man, what's your name, man? Rodney? You said Ryan Robinson. Hey man, I'm gonna come visit you. I gotta talk. I gotta get to know this young man a little bit more.
Just a 10th grade, bro.
Yeah, just a 10th grade.
All of 10th grade.
All in 10th grade.
9th grade. Everybody 10th grade.
Y'all in tech too? Gotcha. So then my next topic is, you know, all of us watch the news, right? So we see that, you know, if you're in Memphis, you're from Memphis, you know, we got some challenges as a city. One of the things we always hear from the district, I get pinged all the time on my phone. Something that's happened between the hours of 12 and 1, some kid has gotten shot, somebody breaking into cars or something like that. What do you think that a lot of times what we get from the city, from the county, they say as a school district, it's y'all job to make sure that the kids are in school and doing what they're supposed to do so they're not outside making news. Coach, talk to me a little bit. I see you shaking your head about what you think about kind of that.
I mean, you get the kids, you can have something in school that attract them. Like, I know a lot of problems at the infrastructure or the sports, these guys at the sports.
Yep.
They play basketball, football, some play soccer. Like, we have 15 different sports at my school, but we only have one small practice field. So, you know, if you're a top-notch athlete, we are losing a lot of kids to other districts, right? So, but we have these structures in school. I told them I practice all day long. You know, the kids, they be at practice all day long. It gives them something to do. It gives them another alleyway. You know, keep their mind occupied. It will be all in the neighborhood. They'll be at school doing something, being involved in sports or being involved in any extracurricular activity that's at school. So have something that's attractive to them. Don't always say, well, they got the other school got all this. We don't have anything. So there's a big thing I know that they voice their opinion to me because they'll tell you. They come to me every day, Coach, can we get the field? Can we get a field fixed? You know, they come to me all the time about the same problems that I know, you know, that they want, things that they want for their school.
So that's a good point. So I want to again hear from the students again. Coach brought up a good point. So what a lot of people don't know about the district is that we have over 160 facilities, 13 stadiums, and over $1 billion in what's called deferred maintenance. One of the things that's happened when superintendent hit the 4-1, she started on April 1st. We have already begun to ask the county for $25 million. We just the city for $25 million. We asked the county for $96 million. And part of it is stadiums. Because what we know is that it's key and it's good to have academics, but you got to also want to have the kids, attract the kids to school. Some of my friends, I'm gonna be honest with you, the only reason why they came to school is because they hoop, because they play football, and they know they had to be academically eligible to do it. So if that's the goal, then that's the goal. So I want to talk about facilities. Talk to me about y'all facilities, because one of the things, don't laugh like that, dog. Just trying to help you here.
They better give it to you. They can't wait. They better give it to you. They better give it to you.
You asked for it. You got to get it down.
So talk to me a little bit about the facilities again, because one of the things we want to get right is one of the things I like to talk about is, so I grew up in the Walker Homes community. I went to Walker Elementary, was fortunate enough to go to Freeman and then to Central. But if you was like me, I grew up in 950 square foot house with 12 of us at a time. So when I got to school, school was better than home. When I mean school was better than home, school was luxury to me when I had to go back to home. So we got over 110,000 students, and just having a real conversation. A lot of our students, much like me, when they get to school, they want or need better opportunities to see schools look nice because homes can't. So y'all talk to me a little bit about facilities in terms of school and sports as well.
Our facilities is very small, but we make do with it. Like we got like a patch of grass. It's the baseball field, the softball field, the football field. Whenever they need to run or whenever they need space outside, that's where they go. But not everybody can really practice at the same time. But for the little time that we get, we make it work.
You want to laugh?
No, I was like, I can speak on behalf of baseball and football.
Yep.
We have our small field, but still, for the past however many years, we've been able to regions and district win everything we can. So we make do with what we have, and we don't complain. We don't complain as much. We know we can. We know we have more.
Yeah.
So we have what we have. And we still find a way to win.
So basically, with our little backyard, right? Our little backyard get used for any and everything with sports, and like even like when we host the
Southern Classic.
We had to host a classic. Our school little patch of grass, when the cars drive on it, beer bottles in the field, glass all in the field, rocks all in the field. Like we didn't have practice before. I'm making tackles. I had blood coming down. Man, what happened? I look down, I pull a piece of glass on I'm like, man, what this is? So it's like basically when we do these types of events and we do all of these, like we try to get money, a lot of times the kids like, oh, our school doing all these events and getting this money. We don't see the money because like it always goes to something that goes behind that takes 4 years later when you graduate. That's what you get. So imagine if you had the opportunity to use like my class, like I'm in the AV production class, so all these camera stuff, I know all these people because of what we do. So imagine if I had the opportunity to learn that, oh, I can shoot, I can go make moves and stuff. I know that I can do it instead of getting this equipment later. I can learn how to do this now. Basically, I'm not trying to say let's speed up all the stuff, let's speed it up. We put a rush on you, but it's like it would help faster if like instead of waiting for all these initiatives and all this stuff, we just take the action, we lead the way, and take with most of what we have.
Anybody else? So I think.
Next question.
Go ahead.
So like, how does the community or the business community help? Because like, I hit a conversation today, and I think one thing is that we can't leave things all to the school. How does community get involved in school? Like, what does that look like?
Now you're talking. Mm-hmm. So that's a good question. So again, one of the things that's happened is, again, I mentioned like our funding body is the county. The city, they really don't contribute anything. A lot of people don't understand that the city actually doesn't contribute except for $1.3 million to the school district, even though all the schools are inside the city limits. That's why now we've asked them, hey, give us $25 million so we can start approving some of these facilities we have. But to your point, we know the city only got so much money, the county only got so much money. So now we're knocking down the doors of your FedExes, your Amazons. Not even to say it's about money, but listen, these kids need internships, ability to do different things. So we'll do business with you guys if you bring these kids along the way. So,
and to that point, and I think when I heard about it, everybody kind of talk about their vocational and stuff like, we think about the barbershop, right?
Yep.
These are like entrepreneurs in their own individual pathway. How do we show up? I mean, I can't cut no hair now, so not me. But like, how do we show up in order to support like what you're trying to do? Because internships show it differently, right? We think everybody got to go to the corporation, but they make a lot of money doing something good. So how can we show up there? Like, what does that look like? I'm sorry.
you do.
I'm not asking what do you do for work?
Put it back up.
Good question. I'm the senior vice president of a sales and marketing firm.
So you sales and marketing firm. A lot of the crime rate, a lot of the young men that we know nowadays, they sell, countryman a lot of times, right? They sell and steal cars. That's the statistic of a black man in, Memphis. All known for stealing cars, selling drugs, and doing God knows whatever. So what I can say is basically breaking it down to a level where high school young men, because at the end of the day, you've been in our shoes, you know that how our brains are operating. So take it down. So like say, hey, if you know how you can flip this, how you advertise, how you market, selling for your other activities or due diligence. How much you use this skill to learn how to sell a pair of shoes? Okay, you can legally sell shoes. Don't have to worry about the police. Don't worry about the police looking on your back. Don't have to have a target on your back at all times. Because at the end of the day, you wearing a target on your skin. So don't add more to your target, but basically showing us what revenue. Use your life skill to become that.
And so I'll say to you, I'm committed to doing that. So I want to figure out how do I show up, because I think in this conversation, Jane, us just even being here, like the takeaway I'm gathering, I thought it was going to be the headset, but the takeaway I'm gathering is that how do I show up? Because I think sometimes we think how we should show up is not necessarily the right way for the next person. So I took it upon myself to figure out how do I make that happen, because that is true, right? So I'm responsible for helping make a lot of black owners. So when you go inside like a Walmart or a Target or any retail store, and you go inside like the haircut section, I manage who gets on shelf at all Walmarts, all Targets throughout the country, right? So I make people millionaires, right? So I want to figure out how do I show up for you like I show up for them. So I'll take that upon myself to figure out how to connect and do that, because I can show you how to make money, the legal way.
Yeah. All right. So that's what we're talking about, really. So these guys are here today, and it's a good showing, right? And we're not trying to do it for a showing, but we got another subset of students that's out there who need to see guys like you, barbers and things of that nature, so they don't have to go and do stuff like that. For instance, again, I always talk about myself. When I grew up, to your point, I stayed in a neighborhood where I saw drug dealers. They made a lot of money, and I understood that. I also understood that they didn't sustain it. And they only made a lot of money for 2, maybe 3 years, and then you didn't see them anymore because they was in jail or dead. But also, then on the flip side, what I also saw, I saw my partners. While my dad went in my life, I saw my homeboys' dads who went to work every day, came and provided for their families. And I saw that side, and them guys grew to be 70 years old, and it was just fine. So I thought it was a better way to take that route, even if it was a longer route. What I know is it wouldn't last for 2 or 3 years, it would last for a long time. So to this point, I think what's important is that we show guys or students that you can take not the easy route, the long route, if you will. Again, it don't always have to be college. It can be a trade or something like that, the legal way, where we don't have to show up on the news. So tell me a little bit more about facilities. Y'all, I feel like y'all have put it on me on there. Talk to me about the school buildings, the cleanliness of the building.
Well, I mean, we stationed in the old Fairview building. So we're a high school, but the school is built for junior high school. So we have a small gym, we have small locker rooms. They have small spaces to get dressed. So a lot of those facilities are built for middle school kids, and we have over 15 active sports to share the small practice field that we have and the small gym. So that becomes a scheduling problem as the AD. So I'm fighting with coaches every day on who can have the gym at this time. What season is it? So that's a problem. And we're successful, like Jordan said. We're successful in every sport that we're playing in. Like we won regional, sectional championships in most of all of the sports over there. So and we have what's our motto? What's our motto? Bulldog talk. So I instill that in them, saying, hey, you're great in school. Let's be great in athletics, but you're gonna face adversity in life no matter what. Maybe you're dealing with the facilities, maybe you're dealing in life, maybe at home, and to overcome that. So that's the mindset that he was talking about earlier. So I think that's one of the things that we touching, because we just dealing with it because we have to. But at the same time, we're losing great athletes to the other school districts because they have those activities, they have those facilities, and that's a big problem. I really think so.
the reason that we're able to be so late is because we had to push through and had to work with what we got. Because we don't got all the new bills, all the all the stuff. Like, we feel like this since it wasn't handed to us, then we gotta go get it. It makes us want to get it.
Gotcha. I'm gonna hear from my guys from Bellevue. Y'all didn't just come to this joint. Y'all gotta say something. He said, "My man tapped you. Said you gotta be the one. You gotta be the spokesman. Tell me what y'all want to see better at Bellevue." Better locker room. You play football at Bellevue? What else, my man? You gotta give me something. There you go.
Okay. Get us better goals and balls, so we can work with them and get
Gotcha. Again, what I heard from y'all is we use what we got, but we could use more. So to your point, Coach, one of the things we're trying to do a better job at is when we build new facilities, we don't want to take care of our own facilities, but putting in avenues where we can be like Bartlett. When teams come in town, I know you see it. They use Bartlett for everything. They do tournaments and they're bringing revenue into those districts. Collierville, when they built their Taj Mahal out there for $94 million, when they have sports events, they want to come in town and they want to use those facilities. But what it's also doing is bringing revenue back into those schools so they can send it out to do more schools. Talk to me a little bit about equity, Coach. What you think, how you feel about equity? Now, you are one of the boutique schools.
I mean, boutique meaning they great academic guys.
Yeah.
But far as the school facilities, nothing boutique about it. You know, because like we have an invitational track meet at Collierville now. I took some kids out there this morning before I came here. On the ride out there, ooh, Coach, they got all this.
Yeah.
They got this, they got that. You know, there's no equity. There's no equity in that.
Yeah.
You know, just like we was in civil rights movement, they got the good books and we got the bad, but we got the old ones. So there's no equity there at all.
Anybody else? How y'all? My man, cool.
Basically, what I feel, I know how we just said that we asked the city basically for $25 million to put back into the facilities and stuff. But I want to go beyond asking just basically the city. Why don't we ask the different people that's in our community, the people that's in our backyard? Like I know, like how he said that he just went to Collierville and all this stuff. I know Collierville, you see that big old, you go see a big old scoreboard is about this big. But then when you look inside, a lot of the kids, because nowadays I'm a realist, I'm in the middle. So I see a big old scoreboard, but I don't see the big old scoreboard. I don't see, oh, the school got one. I'm like, ain't no way the school got one. You look around the scoreboard, and what do you see?
You see names of
companies.
companies.
Companies. You see a community that's sticking together, that's putting money back into the community. So what I say that we should do, instead of just saying, oh, we ask the city for money, how about we ask these community leaders that what they see, you know what I mean, actually wanting to do better. They put their guide, they not hold our hands, but actually guide us and separate us.
You make a good point. I'm gonna put her on the spot right off the bat as soon as she come in.
Fellas, folks, how are we? Good.
Superintendent, I'll put you right in the hot seat right away.
Yeah. Let me get seated.
We got a bunch of 10th graders here, and they've been very vocal about they want to see better facilities, they want to see better programming, and things of that nature. And he just brought up a point that we've been talking about in terms of sports. He says when he pulls up to Collierville and they Taj Mahal they got out there, the first thing he sees is their scoreboard. And on the side of their scoreboard, you know what he sees? Business names.
Yeah.
I know you and I been having conversations about that weekly about, he says he saw the $25 million ads we had for the city. I told him about we're beating down the doors from the county. Got my man right here from a business, he gonna give us $100 million.
I'm make all of them make milk.
That's fair, that's fair.
So I'm gonna jump you right in because one of the things he was just talking about really is just naming right. So when we talk about improving facilities, specifically around athletics.
Yeah. So hello to you. First of all, thank you for letting me in, right? Me and Zach come in for a minute, have a conversation. So what you're bringing up is exactly, that's all I know really, just from cheering and coaching and of course being a principal and just moving on up and around across different spaces. Whoever wants whatever, as long as they're willing to pay for it, you know, short of some things with character being attached to it, then we take it, right? And so it's as big as the Nikes, and it's as local as our local businesses who want to support and contribute to the types of facilities. But really it's about the experience that you're after, right? The facilities is a part of it. It is just as much a part of your psyche and how you feel about you as it is about what is said to you about you, right? So seeing a space and knowing that you have the equipment to do what you want to do, knowing that you can breathe some fresh air because the air works when it should, that's important. And then certainly the aesthetics, how it looks is important. It plays a role in how you feel. So you don't have anybody in me that is against that. And certainly I understand it from selling business cards. I mean, we made the programs. That's how we paid for most of our trips to go to Dallas and to compete, you know, nationally. So I understand it for sure. And that's a part of the way forward. So you'll continue to see us ask for money. I'm not afraid for asking for money. But I'll have some smaller VIP conversations with business owners and leaders. We don't really want to be all out in the front, right? And people to know what they give. And so we'll have that conversation and they'll be ready to put something on the table as well. I think what's important for people when they give their money, no matter if you're giving $1 or $1,000, you want to know what it's going towards. And so that's our responsibility to really name, and that's what we've been doing. This is going to go to fix the pavement, to pave the parking lot at XYZ school. This is going to fix the roof. This is going to fix the HVAC. So we've been very clear about what we're asking for, but also what it's going to contribute to. So when people see the LED lights that we're asking to fix in a gym for athletics, sometimes they turn a little nose up, but if you don't understand what it means to fix the lighting for the gym and what that does for players to show up in a space that's dim, then that's on us to make the understanding clear as well. And so I appreciate you first recognizing that, right? Hey, these people paid for this. And second, just bringing it to the forefront as we have the conversations. You're a sophomore.
Yes, ma'am.
I look forward to you leading some of those conversations with these business leaders and asking for it. Respectfully, they don't want to hear from me. They want to hear from you about how it's going to help you and how it's going to directly support what it is that you're after. It's just our job to put you in the room. Would you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thank you for putting me on the hot seat as soon as I get in.
I have a question for you. I'm Katina Johnson. I'm a barber instructor at Southwest Career Tech. And you asked about how the community could help in some of our programs. Well, at my school, they have a company called Atlantic Track, where it helps with the construction, manufacturing, those type of things. We don't have anybody to help with the barbering class.
Okay. Well, I think that's an opportunity I think we can help fill that void. So I'll exchange information, and then in turn we can figure it out. And I think that's how, again, communities show up, because that's something that we just don't know, right? But you just bring that information to us, helps us to show up in a different way.
And also, those two were my former students.
Oh man, I tell you, I know your class was hard, wasn't it?
Trill, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I know you don't like it. Talk to us about being an entrepreneur and kind of your mindset about owning your own kind of space.
It's pretty cool. A lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work. But, I mean, this is what I love to do. I cover it for free if I have to. I've been involved for about 19 years. I've been at home for about 6. So, I mean, I'm able to help people. I do small mentor, like, you know, growing together. When you cut hair, you're not only just cutting hair, you're getting to know the person. That's right. Build a relationship. Do stuff like that.
Now, mentorship is not small. You called it small. That's not small. Every time you invest in somebody, you know, that's a big deal. We shift lives when we speak into people, especially our youngest leaders, but all of us need somebody, right? And so that's a big deal. That's no small feat. How many of you gentlemen have a mentor? Yeah? Right. Good deal. That's more than normal. That's good.
I'm a grown man. I
We all here committed to be a mentor.
Good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So basically, I understand that, we're trying to get through sports facilities, that we're trying to better our communities. But my question is, it's kind of a big question.
Yeah.
So my question is this: a lot of young men really thinks like, okay, why would I go out here and work to get that? Like, why would I work out here to go get that Tahoe when I can just go out here and stick? Why would I go out there to go buy me a haircut if I can just break into one and get? Why would I go out here and work a 9 to 5 when I can go see somebody on the street and take that purse? So when young men think like that, why would I do this when I can take the easy way out? So that goes with sports. So now with sports, I can't do nothing easy. I can't do nothing. It's like if I'm gonna do something, I gotta work in order to be the best. I gotta work the hardest. So what steps will be in place to make sure to advertise the new facilities and new sports centers to make kids want to come? Because a lot of times kids say they can't come because we build all these new sports facilities and sports places, but guess what they built? Cars built. We build all these new sports facilities and sports places, but they're built in bars. They're not built necessarily in their community, so they don't feel like it's a part of their community. So how can we be more inclusive with basically bringing these new facilities into a community where people really need them, really want them, and not just put them there, but actually keep them right, keep them running, and not make them run.
Have you applied for any of the positions I posted online? Need a guy on my team. Right?
You can have them.
Hold down, absolutely. The right question to ask, right? So we build it, they will come. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, right? And so you're asking the right question about neighborhood spaces, like put it in the community where you are. Certainly will draw you in, but then when you get in, how do we keep you there, right? Because there are a lot of competing factors. You just mentioned a lot of them. And really the question is really for you. How do we draw in young men, young people like you, right? Like how do we do that? You mentioned activities. That's the way that I've always thought about it. It's just requiring, all of my students had to be involved in at least one activity when I was a principal. It didn't matter what it was, at least one. Right? You get involved in something, you feel connected. Would you agree with that? You feel connected, you want to protect the thing, right? You want to do great at the thing. You want to make the thing better than it was pre-you. Is that a fair statement? Yeah, so when people get involved, that's one thing. But you're saying, hey, how do we keep them involved? And then more importantly, these facilities that we're talking about, how do we make sure they stay in our communities? And we don't let other people place them in other spaces. And so we are a district. Might I add, we are a business when it comes to that. And so I was just talking to Langston earlier about how do we just stretch, get rid of the box in terms of our thinking about what we can do. That we can have real estate, we can open some buildings and repurpose them into some of the facilities that you're talking about ourselves without placing them outside of the spaces that you live in. What that looks like though is how do we do it quickly, right? Because we don't have a long time. We're running out of time before more people who look like us, we lose them, right? Would you agree with that? Yeah, we lose them to all the things you just named. And so it is about time and timing as much as it is about money. I'm confident that the people will invest the money. Folks will give the money. It's about how quickly we can do it, and then certainly identifying where. We own some of our spaces in terms of facilities, but we don't own enough of them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I hear you. I can't wait to put you on the team though, so that you can really drive some of this forward, really ask some of those real questions to city leaders who make decisions, to county leaders who make decisions, funding decisions. So I can't wait to make sure we connect with you very soon. Yeah.
He also mentioned that he was an audio-video student, right? Okay, so, as I mentioned, I teach barbering, but I also teach, got the endorsement to teach audio-video. And I do a little mentoring on the side. Me and my boys, we did the signs outside of this building. We did the signs outside of this building, the barbershop across the street, that another student of mine on that one. it'd be a no sign. But as far as the facility, I think we need a facility also to bring more CTE type classes or after school activities dealing with film, video, graphic design, sports, you know, as one entity.
And so we have a few centers, right, where there are some programs, but if I hear you correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, some of the programs that we have, either kids don't like, they're not interested in, and we can expand and add more of what they're interested in.
Well, right now, the problem I have as a teacher, some of the students that are interested in taking barbering, they don't get to take it. They kind of like just put the schools, the feeder schools, just put students in our program that don't really want the program.
Well, we also have to do better about advertising what we have as well. I can probably ask students in here and the students across the district if they're aware, A, that we have some centers, right, that they can go and take some of these classes and some of these pathways and programs. Several of them won't even be able to name more than 2 or 3, and then others, in my experience, they just don't want to leave their current campus, right? Like you go to your school for a reason and you don't want to go off campus, and so it's about us bringing more of the programs into the respective buildings as well.
And transportation.
And that will cut down on some of the transportation challenges as well. Wherever I go to school, I should be proud to go there, right? And so placing it in a space, auto mechanics, some of those programs you do have to put in larger facilities. Just some of the equipment just requires more room than we have in a traditional school. But other programs, audiovisual, filming, things of that nature, you could put inside of a traditional building, and kids don't have to leave their space. They want to be with their friends, and we like that as well, while we think about how we improve or increase the number of students that are enrolled in some pathway program. But it's also just making sure we offer the programs that they're interested in. And so we have a survey going out for sure for some of our newer facilities that are coming, and then we'll get a broader one out to students to just get their thinking about what they want to see. Even if it doesn't exist while they're here, what do their peers want to see as they move forward?
I feel like there should be like more opportunities, like us to speak up.
Yeah.
Because like the generation now and stuff going on now, like we make it seem normal, it's not supposed to seem like that.
Yeah.
But like kids, like we the future, this generation is the future, so us seeing us doing this thing, it's seem normal.
I love it.
This generation taking the easy way out, like selling drugs, stealing, like to get around for the rest of their life is not normal, because even though taking the long way, like going to college, isn't gonna help you out in the long run instead of taking a short route.
Yeah, I hear you. You're sharing that, you shared a few things. That the longest way to do anything is a shortcut, right? Like you'll end up having to do the thing again if you try to take a shortcut. But college seems long until you figure out all the mistakes you make along the way trying to go in a different direction. Even if it's not college, the more you run away from the thing you're supposed to do or the thing you want to do, the longer it takes you to get to that thing. I think the easy way out, it depends on who we're talking to. Would you agree with that? Easy is different for some of us. The things that I think are hard, you may not think are hard. And so it really is just tapping into your voice and getting an understanding of what your respective experience is. But if I can challenge you on one thing, you said this generation is the future. Can I tell you that you are the now? Can I tell you that you are now? You are the leaders today. We're just here as guides and facilitators. The decisions you make are determining the future for all of us now, right? And so I don't know that you all know how much power you have as athletes in your building. You are the people that people follow. You make everything cool and you make everything not cool. That's pretty much how it goes. It doesn't matter who you think you are. You make everything cool. Is cool still the word, or is it another word?
It's still a word.
It's outdated. I'm still good. Listen.
I ask me every day.
I'm not sure. I could be a little behind. They told me I didn't know the Memphis jargon, so I gotta learn Maine and everything. I got a lot of catching up to do, right? I come from, Detroit is the city of what up though, and I hear y'all are what up Maine, and so I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But you all have the power, and so we work through you. You start speaking up the way you're speaking up here. That's how we change this, quicker, faster. Your peers will listen to you a lot faster than they listen to older folks like us. It takes a little longer for it to sink in when we're speaking. You can just elbow them and say, "Fool, come on," and then it just makes a little it makes a lot of difference a lot faster. Would you agree with that? Do you all believe that you're using your power right now? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That's exactly. There you are. You made the point there. We sit back and letting it happen to us, right? And then we make the complaints when we know better. We know better. But sometimes you're fighting to see what's worth it and what's not. And so that I understand. But if I can challenge you all to understand the leadership role that you have, that leadership isn't fun, doesn't feel good, it's uncomfortable, sometimes it's lonely, but that's the price of leadership. And then it costs something to be excellent. Like it costs you your time. You all are waking up probably doing, I don't know, we used to do 3-a-days in the summer. So you're waking up early in the morning, 3-a-days. Yeah, we practice longer than the football team.
I wish we could still do it. We can't do it anymore. It's out loud.
Back for lunch, and then we finished it off in the evening. There was no time for me to get in trouble, right? Yeah, we used to have a back and forth with the football team because they didn't think we were athletes as cheerleaders until they realized we were doing 3-a-days. I saw you though, 3-a-days. 3 over the summer. As soon as the last day of school hit, the next day we were 3 up in the AM, back in the afternoon, and then back in the evening. And then everything in between that was either volunteering at a nursing home, or we were tutoring somebody, or we were trying to get a little nap in. That was it. But I played basketball, so in between that I was in basketball practice. So what I'm sharing with you is that you all lead the way now. Like we have a little time, it's now. So when you go back to school Monday, you still have several days. I see y'all still chuckling about those 3 days. Say I'm giving your coach some ideas. Yeah, they started changing after that as well, so good luck to you. I'll give you some Gatorades or Powerade or something.
They need it.
It's good for you. It's good for you. It keeps you focused. I might add that it gives you the level of discipline that you need to stay on the course that you need to be on, because you'll still have a lot of things coming your way. The older you get, the better you get, the wiser you become, the more you start to speak out, all of these things will start to come at you. Life will start life, as you always say. Yeah. Good stuff. What's your name? Yeah. Delane? Delantis? Delandis. The land is. Got it. Hey, break it down for me. The land is. Delandis. Got it. Proud of you. Good job. We have to get you on the team too.
Freshman in the back. I forgot your name. Stand up. Put him on the fire. Freshman. He
okay.
Youngest out the group.
Come on.
So I had a question for you. How could we incorporate like an opportunity to try out different stuff before you commit to college? Because a lot of people like use a lot of their life, a lot of years putting into a degree that they're not going to do just to do it for the community.
Absolutely. Phenomenal question. So, you all are at middle college, and so that's one step, right? Like you are having that type of exposure to next level learning to give you the best idea, short of you being on a campus of a university or a college, like you're right there to determine, okay, is this for me? But being very careful, if you make a decision too soon, you may cast yourself out and make some decisions that keep you away from some things that can change your mind moving forward. But you don't have money to waste, and so I hear you with that. Early college is probably one of the better ways. When you start taking courses to kind of get a feel of what the professors are like and what they mean when they say you only have 3 grades and that's it. A test, and another test, and that's it. You figure out very quickly, is this what I want to do? It's also offering you opportunities to shadow individuals in their businesses. in their careers, so you can see what it means to be an accountant. So you can go and get a good idea of what it looks like on a day-to-day basis to be a superintendent, to be a teacher. We don't do a great job in education of positioning education as a field. This is a career. Folks make money, although we say we need more, but this is a career and a viable way forward for you. And so it's giving you opportunities to see that as well. It's also just allowing you to have more conversations like this where you can ask questions of people who have gone the way. We can tell you about all the time we wasted, all the money we can't get back, the many times we changed our degree, our majors, how we're not doing anything in our major. We can tell you all of the things that you have access to that, and your teachers right in the building. So I think it's really more so about checking out the questions that you have and then positioning you accordingly.
I just want to ask you, how do you think we can like encourage the perspective of having these lower term jobs? You know, like a lot of people want to be like superintendents or doctors, lawyers, and all those things. How do we encourage the fact that mechanics are still needed?
That's right.
People who work on HVAC systems are still needed. People who work on AC is still like needed and everything. So how do we encourage it to people who don't know what they want to do with life and don't want to look towards the job that may not seem the most like enjoyable?
Right. That's on us, right? And I might argue that everything you named made more money than I made as a teacher, and for sure. When I entered, and then just shy of landed this position, I still make more because you have the opportunity to own that, right? We need a plumber every day. At some point, they can get rid of me. Let's just find anybody to run this, right? But you need a plumber every day, and they're going to charge you whatever they want to every day. We always need transportation in terms of diesel trucks. We always need HVAC. Our capital investment, sheet that we just gave when we asked for the $25 million. Half of those projects are to replace chillers and HVAC, and so we always need those. Our job, is to make sure that we offer ourselves as an employer. So sometimes when some of these things come up, there's no reason that students in our buildings who have gone through certain courses shouldn't be able to come and at least contribute to fixing that. We need to be better about bringing in individuals who already serve in these capacities, the same way we do doctors and lawyers in the trade or the fields and careers that we're more familiar with or we position in the light more. We do better about expressing and selling those things, for lack of better words. And so we all know somebody who does something, carpentry, and can come in and share and really paint the picture of what this could look like as a career for you and show you the way on how to make money now. I had students who were in school who would go and place carpet in new apartments. When buildings would open, they would go do it in the evenings and they would be at school the next day. And so it's just making sure that we provide the opportunities, but that requires expanding and rethinking how we think about partnerships as well. Great question.
Can I comment on that?
Oh, absolutely.
Young man, I went to college to do architecture. But once I got there, I got introduced to my film teacher, and I decided I liked that. I did graduate, but I took a job as a substitute assistant in the school system. And there, I had a small cousin that I had come to the school there. And the picture day, he needed a haircut. I had no idea I was trying to borrow, but I ran to the Walgreens, got some good liners, and lined her for the picture. And I was so excited about that. After the picture, I kept going and put a big old bowl around here. But I thought it looked good. Then when I got it home, my cousin said, "Hey, cousin, you got a beard in it." So once he was college at the time, so he would grab his foot out the trunk, tell me about blending, and tell them probably remember this. I'm on the porch now, cutting everybody here in the neighborhood. So I was actually in college at the time too. So I jumped in barber school at the same time. I did for 2 goals, and I'm going doing that. Like, I never knew that I was become a barber. But after doing that, I decided I got tired of it for a minute. Then, the job with the Shelby County School, it kind of came to me. I didn't even remember applying for it. But somebody called me one day, and then they brought the energy back to want to get back into barbering and teaching. So I don't regret going to college or none of that. But sometimes you never know what your career might lead you to.
This is more of a personal question. I know when you got stay as a superintendent, you got instant fix this, that. I just want to know, what do you want to see done? What do you want to see done?
What do I want to
See done.
see done? Ooh. Y'all worked on these questions. I appreciate it. I appreciate the thought in the questions. And yeah, you're right. It was fix this, fix it yesterday that was the part. Fix all of it yesterday. I want most for us to get our facilities right. Those are the things you can see. That's a safety challenge. That is an opportunity challenge, meaning you see opportunities where you don't based on the facility that you're in. It determines how you feel about the space, meaning pride. There's a lot connected to environment. Think of it like your home. That's what a school is for you as well. And so if we can shape, reshape, rethink our physical structures, that would be one for sure. I want overall for you all to fall in love with learning and not be afraid of the things that stretch you and make you uncomfortable, right? I want it to be cool, if you will, for Black children to read books and bounce balls, right? We can do both. And so as the dynamic individuals that you are, I want that most for you because that will take you the farthest. As long as you remain as curious as you are, as intentional with your thinking as you have been today, as attentive and observant as you are to all things, you will go far enough where everything else will make sense and be able to take care of itself. I think the other thing in terms of fixing is I'd like for us to work on the village aspect in terms of relationships and culture and how we think about supporting each other. We always say it takes a village to raise a child, and we got to come together, and then the coming together either doesn't happen at all, or it comes about very, very slow, right? And so we got to do better about being together, staying together, and then doing the actions necessary to make this great shift that we're talking about in here happen together, right? But that requires you all. And so it's more of listening. I don't know the last time you all have been asked for your perspective, asked for your thoughts and solutions, and then most importantly, asked to show up and go be the communicators of the same. And so that's what it takes for me in terms of what I'd like to see move first. And then I think everything else starts to come after that.
My mama always tells me that in life, connections are important. So I just want to know if have connections and real life.
Connections? Ooh, yeah. So I think the first day in college, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And they just drilled that down. I'm a business major by study. And so the first day in our first business class, that's what they shared, is who you know, not what you know. And so from there, I've always been active, but I remember then just trying to get involved in everything I could there. So when your mom shared with you about connections, she's absolutely right. But what I might share with you about that is it's connections to everybody. I can learn something from everybody, right? And so think about how you're thinking about connections. What does that mean? You can be connected to the wrong people too, right? And so it is being sharp in your thinking, as sharp as you all are right now, about knowing who you're around, and then certainly what's the benefit, what can I add to them as well. And so absolutely connection. You'll also hear it called networking. So show up in these different spaces where you're not used to going. Go to the museum, go see what's happening over there. Go to different restaurants, So you learn what the different menus say. You know, like, so go and just stretch yourself so that you are exposed in such a way that when you get around people, you don't look, think, or speak like you. You don't feel, you know, like a stranger, like you're an alien. And so connections are important. I think in the schools that the way schools are set up now, we've kind of returned to pre-Brown versus board education when, you know, segregation was alive and well. And so it's been a little bit more of that now, just in a more creative way. So we've kind of ended up right back where we were, where the spaces are filled with us, and I'm not mad about that. And so I want us to tap into the wisdom and the resources that exist in our community. We have a lot more going for us than we do against us. And so be connected in your own community, and then think about what community could look like for you outside of that as well. And my God, I'm afraid of your questions, but go for it.
Yeah, it's a question about you. So hearing that I'm sorry, but it's like I read people and I like to know different types of people and understand different types of people. So my question for you is, hearing that you are from Detroit, what drives you to help the Memphis culture, the MSCS, what helps you drive to better our community? Even though that you're not from here, you don't know the struggle, that you haven't had a first-hand experience of the struggles that are here, our community. So what helps drive you to make it better?
Good question. So don't let me disappoint you, but I'm from Alabama. Born and reared in Alabama. Spent all of my life in Alabama until about 7 years ago, and then I transitioned to Cleveland to become a principal, and then to Detroit in my latest role, and so that's where I'm transitioning from. So I'm a Southern girl at heart, in a red state of Alabama, just like Tennessee. I think when we think about Memphis, and you're mentioning, you're highlighting, how do you understand our struggle? I don't know that I can say I understand your struggle because it is, you know, individual to you, but I understand what it means to struggle, right? I don't know that I've ever just leaned into them, if you get what I'm saying. I went to Head Start. If you know anything about Head Start, that's for low-income children, right? And so, born in the projects, and my folks are of small means. My mom is retired now from Aflac, and my dad oversees a department at 3 separate hospitals. And so, you know, it is about where you start, because where you start is just as important as to get you where you're trying to go. And so I operate with the knowledge of where I've been, and it allows me to better understand people in general, right? And so as I moved to Birmingham, much like Memphis, and Cleveland, a lot like Memphis, but then Detroit could be Memphis, if you will. I think we put it all together, and I have a pretty sharp understanding without having been born and reared in Memphis, right? And so it is also about balancing that every person in here has a different experience, even though we're in the same city, right? And so it's just thinking about how that looks and how that shows up, and then how I allow that to inform decisions. And so that's why these conversations are important, so that I don't make decisions in a big office, sitting up high and looking low, but making sure you stay connected to people. And I've always done that. I've always talked with kids, always built houses with Habitat for Humanity with students. I've always led presentations with the city council and mayor's office. My kids were ambassadors for the city. And so it's always been about what's the experience of the individual that is before me, that is alongside of me, and then what do we have in common, right? When I said Head Start, you perked up. Did you understand that, right? Like, that's something that everyone or several people can understand. When I said I was born in the projects, you tilted your head a little bit, because you probably want to say, well, you don't look like it, and that's the whole premise of perception is reality for people. What does it mean to look like you're from the projects, right? And so that's what it means to just really shape and change folks' thinking about who we can become, so that no one projects on you who you can become based on where you are, what your hair looks like, how you dress, how you talk. So I appreciate you asking that question. Hope I didn't disappoint you that I'm not from Detroit, though. Yep. What's your name?
Jordan.
Troy? Jordan. Can you hoop like him? All right, that's fair. That's fair.
I know athletes we like to pride ourselves in academics.
Yeah.
We're a student athlete.
That's right.
And you know, athletics can't get you through all of life. You might get that injury, you might not get that offer. So what you all do in the picture, and we can do it as peers to remind everybody that you need the academics to further yourself in life in case athletics don't take you where you want to be.
Absolutely, and you hit it right on the head. The student comes before it for a reason, right? It's about being a student athlete. I think you do both though. Athletics can take you very far. I still operate as a team player. I still operate with punctuality, understanding what it means to be on time. I still can see the floor, for lack of better words, if you will, meaning seeing it all for vision. And so what you're gaining from being an athlete is equally as important as what you're gaining in a classroom. I might argue and add that what you're seeing in the classroom comes out in play, at play, when you're on the field or whatever sport that you're playing. Even if you're in an activity, debate team, chess, you're pulling from everything that's in class, that's in the books, which is why we want to put it together and do a better job about merging that, right? So if you're both in class and the expectation is that you are in an activity, I made my athletes get involved in a curricular activity as well. So you play ball, but you had to be on the chess team or debate team or student council. You had to be in something in addition to that as well. And so you put those both together and that's how you become well-rounded individuals. I think more pointedly to your question, how do we get more people to understand the importance of it though? It really does. I'm gonna keep putting it back on y'all. It starts with you, like you get it. Make sure the person sitting next to you understands. We make sure that we tell you what our education has done for us. I would argue that there's nothing else short of exposure, meaning being able to get out and see different things, nothing else other than education, the power of education that has gotten me right here with you all. I make effective decisions based on what I know. I read a lot. I want to know a lot about everything, right? I think Langston will tell you, I'm quick to ask, you know, where's the policy for that? You know, is there a law for that? Is there some guidelines for that? What's the data that shares that middle college is, you know, on the path to having 100% graduation? And so you just want to be really sharp in your thinking, and you do that for both things, right? So as quick as there's a play drawn up for you, what position do you play? Receiver. How many balls have you dropped? In a game, none. How many games have we played total in a year? 12?
10 regular season.
10 regular season. How many in regular season? Don't let me know your data better than you. Your stats better than you. So yeah, it's just about knowing who you are, right? Knowing what you're bringing to the table as a student, but also as an athlete. Keep them both together. And understanding the priority is the student. You can only be a great athlete if you are a phenomenal student. Would you disagree with that? Yeah. Good question. Yeah.
We're gonna do one more, guys. I know we've been here for a while. I know I promise y'all I'll give her an opportunity to talk to y'all. These guys got a lot.
Don't you cut my kids off.
I know they got a lot.
Let them get their questions out while they're here where we ask.
My man was Nick right here in Greg.
Well, I want to piggyback off what you said. My mother taught me at a young age that it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I want to know how will your connections help our
Come on. Absolutely. So how do my connections help everybody, right? Like bring us who you know. Yeah, that's exactly what I've done everywhere I've been. And so I can't wait to not only expose you to who I know, but who Langston knows, who your coach knows, for sure. I've even reached out already to some folks and they're lined up and ready to come. It's about figuring out how to get the largest audience, you know, where spaces are where we can fit the most people. What's the best way to do that? But I'm not selfish. Anything that I have, right? I can't wait to share it. I think there's some value in what anybody can offer to you. And so I can't wait to make my connections your connections and then see what that does for you. So I appreciate that question.
I started taking U.S. government this year.
Yeah? AP? We're going to do AP next year.
And I learned that the most powerful thing somebody can have is their voice.
That's right.
So I was wondering, like, what are some ways that we can voice it to our peers without being like,
yeah,
like it's not that serious, like just brushing it off, like actually just be serious, just spread the word.
Good job. I mentioned at the last shop about peer counselors. And And so I don't know that we have it here yet. It doesn't seem like we have it here. But I was a peer counselor when I was in middle school. And so there's national training that's provided for that. And it shows you just exactly how to do just that. You get the opportunity to have one of your classes be peer counseling. And that's where your peers develop a trust in you to kind of share some of those things you don't really want an adult to know. It's nothing extreme or harmful. It's just enough where you can share with somebody like you. So that's one way. Another way is I think everybody has a student council, right? You all have a student council at your school? Yeah, so that's one of the first ways, if you will, as we think about government and what that means and democracy and voice. That's one of the ways for you to utilize and share with your peers there. It does require a lot of strategy to think about how you're going to say the thing to somebody. So you're asking the right question. How do we do it where people take us serious, right? Sometimes that is writing. You can do op-eds, meaning an opinion. I don't know if we have a school newspaper or blog or anything like that. You can do it that way. You all have the power of social media. You can hop on a message at any time. You know, as quick as y'all dance, the quick as you can do a little quick PSA about what's important. When you say I want everybody to show up at school tomorrow, watch how many people show up at school tomorrow, whatever that is. And so there are multiple ways to think about how you really use your voice in a way that people will take you serious, but also understand that everybody's not going to listen, A, the first time, and B, they're not going to listen all the way. You got to keep saying it, right? It takes about 5 to 7 times for people to really understand and hear what you're saying for their first time. So it takes a lot of work. Trust me, I've been saying the same thing for about 20 days now. And it's just now starting to hit in a few areas. So it's going to take me about 15 more to say it again. And then I'll keep having to say it, right? And this is with adults. And so if you're talking about, I don't get kids, I don't get peers, people my age to listen to me, I want you to know that you got to be consistent as well, okay? So if nobody listens to you the first time, you can't get upset or push back and fall back in your shell. You got to just keep going, knowing that somebody's listening, and at some point somebody will turn the corner.
This kind of a personal question for me and you. But, so high school, it's like it's set to like prepare you for college.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's so set to prepare you for college that it takes away from reality. So like, what can me and you do to like help the people that want to go in a career path that you don't have to go to college for?
Yeah.
Because me personally, I want to be a realtor.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the pharmacy path because I don't know what steps I need to take to be a realtor, especially that can help me at this younger age. Even though I know I can't do it now, but like what can I do right now that can help me?
How old are you?
16.
16? You actually can start working with, or partnering with, in terms of flipping and you know, remodeling and that side of the real estate, but to become a realtor. Have any realtors been brought into the building? So I'm gonna meet, I think I have a breakfast with realtors coming up, so I'm gonna make sure you're invited to come up that food. That's one way. I think after that breakfast, if you're okay with having a conversation about how we do that in a more consistent way across the board, if that's a fair way forward, I'd be open to that. How's that sound to you? Yeah, so just make sure Ms. Everson Phillips gets your information, and I forget the date, all the dates run together for me. But there is, I know that I asked to have a breakfast for realtors. We got to get people moving into the city, right? People move into the city, our housing prices, you know, they go up in terms of their value. We can start getting a little more money. We can do a few more things when people move into the city. And so I do have a breakfast coming up with realtors, so I can make sure you're in there. Sound good?
Yes, ma'am.
That's exciting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I appreciate you being in it with me, though. This is a question for me and you. I appreciate that. Owning that. Yes, sir.
So, in the beginning of the year, my first semester, I took personal finance class, teaching me about financial literacy.
Yeah.
But I just want to know your specific opinion on every student in Memphis and every student in the world pretty much knowing about financial literacy and knowing about how the credit cards are supposed to be used and the fact that you can go to credit card debt at a young age and not even know about it, and college debt and all those things that we aren't specifically exposed to unless we may take a class or we just have that one person in our life that's telling us about it. So what's your specific opinion on like having everybody know about financial literacy?
Yeah. Isn't that a required class? Yeah. So one, I'm glad the state made it a requirement. Most states are moving towards that, and so making that a requirement is one thing. I'm not sure where it's placed right now in terms of when you take what grade you 10th grade. Like many things, I believe we need to move some of this stuff back meaning earlier, before you get in 10th grade, right? You all are spending money on cell phones in like 5th grade, 6th grade, you know? So we got to move some of this back so that you have access and exposure to it earlier, and build out a pathway so not only you take the required personal finance, but you keep taking courses. You're connecting with folks at Regions Bank. They want to be in the buildings. They want to have these conversations about what it really means to be financially literate or illiterate, right? And so what you're bringing up, how do we do more of that? I think that we have the people for sure in terms of who's already reached out. This is really about making the way forward for everyone who wants to be connected, wants to be involved, just creating the avenue for them. So sometimes that sounds like pilots, meaning we do it at a few schools first, and then we expand, and sometimes that means we just do it across the board where we have the resources readily available to us. And so that's a both and. I think that Langston, having the deep background in finance that he does, would probably be somebody that would charge with that, taking on that. He was a little nervous about this initiative. I called him up one day and was like, listen, I want to do some barbershop talks, and I want to do it like in 3 weeks. He was like, okay, great. And so shout out to him for making this happen. And I think from this, for sure, just based on what you're asking, I'll put this on him as well. I think this will be much easier for him. He's got he can do this in his sleep. He just told me about how much money I'm leaving on the table as well. And so, you know, that money thing is easy for him. So I would depend on him to rally young leaders like you as well. You will begin to see and hear folks at central office reach out to students more, because that's the only way I know forward. That's the only way I've ever done it. And so they don't know it yet, but that is a part of the expectation once the team is solidified, that they all are a mentor. And the other piece is they all have a committee that consists of young leaders who position or who contribute to the decisions that we make. So does that sound like a fair way forward? Good deal. You can't wait for that realtor breakfast. Thinking about it right now. Yeah? Additional questions? I think I might just invite all of you all to be on the team for sure. We've got some,
I have a question.
Yeah?
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity that you have gave us to basically hear our opinions and not have to go through our school, but just give us some type of random survey that we have to fill out in class, that you just feel like we actually put you to say, okay, better, good, yes, we love to hear. But actually just hearing our voices and not just putting, so we see your face on TV and we hear your names at our school, but actually just sitting here and have a chance to talk to you and not being so me personally, I make it feel on behalf of everybody over here. They want to say thank you for the opportunity to listen from us, to hear our voice and to work on that.
My privilege. You are an outstanding young man. I just want that to be said. All of you are. But thank you. It's a privilege. This isn't work for me, and nobody can make me feel like it otherwise. And so I thank you for actually using your voice, showing up today on a Saturday, and actually expressing yourselves for sure.
Took the pressure off me.
Right.
All the questions you get, I get them every day.
So now they go, get rid of the middleman, right? Where's that lady at? Tell her to come see us and we can ask her what we want to ask her. That's it. So no question is too hard for me. And if I don't know the answer, I'll share with you. I don't have it yet, but I'll bring you along the way so you can see how we figure it out. And I would believe that you will figure it out before me. You all are intelligent. You're savvy. You know how to figure out stuff in an efficient way. I think being a teacher and an educator really helps in this role, because that's all I've ever done is listen to my students. I would force them to talk. I don't do surveys with kids because you have a voice for a reason. I also want you to understand how to speak up, speak for yourself, but more importantly, advocate for better experiences for other people, because that's what this is about as well. And so when you get in rooms, I want you to become accustomed to being at the tables and not on the menu, right? And so it only happens when you are allowed to sharpen your voice in environments like this where you feel safe, where you can stand up and be nervous the first time. But when you get into those rooms where people aren't so forgiving, I want you to be able to show up and shine, right? And so I appreciate you. I thank you as well. It's a privilege to do this work, and I look forward to how we'll do it together, because I know y'all have some bright ideas, and I can't wait to see them. And probably you'll get the invitation first for the larger meeting with just students. I will have kids on the, kids, you're not kids, but you're kids to me. I will have young leaders on my transition team. So about 50 of you will be on the transition team. There's some adults, but they'll do adult things on their own. I know you all are going to come up with the sharpest recommendations and way forward, and so you'll get that invitation next week about how that will look moving forward. So I know you're already going to say yes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of you already. So I know I'll have 8 yeses for sure from the middle college football team, right? Everybody can't do it though, okay? We gotta get the sharpest folks first, and then we bring everybody else along. We gotta get our plan together. Does that sound like a deal?
Yeah, man.
And now, I'm not just one talking, I do take action, so you'll get the invitation next week and be ready to run. You ready to run?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
On behalf of the ownership of Upscale, Trail, and the rest of us here, thank you very much, because this is very, very important for you to have these type of community conversations. Because for us, community has to be in the school and outside of the school. So how we show as a community to support the work that happens in school is our responsibility. And so we're letting you know that we are committed to that. We're standing with you, we're beside you, and let's do this thing together. Because when this community comes together, greatness happens for all of these young people in the way. So thank you very much for your leadership. We look forward to the great things that you're going to do for our community. So we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. This is great. Is it picture time?
Yeah.